Hey everyone, Victoria here. I wanted to come to you and talk to you about my experience with getting bit by a brown recluse, okay, otherwise known as a violin spider here in Hawaii. So I got bit, although I didn't know I did, because I didn't feel anything. I got bit like last Monday or last Sunday. So it's been over, not this, but one before, like it's been over 2 weeks. And I am still, my skin is still recovering from it. But it normally takes a lot longer. But I just wanted to share some tips that I came across. I did some research too. Of course, I went to the doctor. But first of all, when I got bit, I didn't know. I broke out a rash on my neck. It started right here. And then it moved. And it was very light at first, but it was itchy. And then the next day, it moved. It was still light, and I was trying not to scratch it. And we actually went up to Mauna Kea, so we were camping. And I was taking, I think, ibuprofen or something. I didn't think much of it, and I put some stuff on my neck, some calamine, lotion. But by the next morning, the rash had gotten thick, really thick, hives. It had gotten really big. I've never seen that before. I never had that happen to me. So it basically moved all right here, moved up my neck. It was all the way up my ears. I felt like a cat, as it kept scratching my ears. And then it was moving up my face. My face was starting to get swollen and up by my eyes. And when that started happening, that made me a little nervous. I mean, already was nervous because it was thick. And so what I did, I was like, okay, I gotta go to the doctor. And it was also starting to move down my arm. So I was like, that was really crazy. I had never experienced that before. So I went to the doctor. She didn't know what it was. I didn't even notice the bite. That's the thing. It was so small. It looked almost like a nick, a scratch, or a bigger freckle. It didn't even look like anything. And that probably was 2 days after I noticed the nick, but I didn't even say anything to my doctor. And she just gave me some steroids and some antihistamine stuff because we didn't know. And then probably 2 days later, my leg, that's where I got the bite, it started to get swollen. So that was 4 or 5 days after I actually got the bite that the bite even started to show any signs of venom or infection or anything, okay? And then that was on a Friday. And I was like, oh, I think I'm okay. And I started doing Epsom salt and baking soda over the bite. And I called my doctor and she's like, well, you can breathe, right? Okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't feel any pain or anything. And then by Saturday, it got really big on my leg. And I was like, oh, but Saturday the doctor's not open. I guess I can go to the emergency. But I didn't go Saturday. And the bite had gotten a lot bigger. Now it was like a bowl, it was big on top of my leg. And then I started getting weird pains, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I went to the emergency room. Was it Sunday morning, I think? Yeah, Sunday morning, and they didn't really know what it was. I was doing lots of Epsom salt, a little bit of baking soda, so it was pulling the toxins up to the top, but it wasn't getting them out. When I went to the emergency room, they gave me some antibiotics, basically everything they could for skin infection. But I was like, I need to do something about this. So I started looking up bites and stuff like that. And then I remembered bentonite clay. Oh my gosh, yes, of course, it absorbs toxins. And I also remember charcoal. So I went and I got some bentonite clay first, and then I put it on the bite, and then immediately it sucked a whole bunch of toxins out of my leg. It was crazy. And then I did it again and again, and the swelling, because it was really big, well, it wasn't huge, but it was that big on my leg, it went down, it was just being sucked out. So then it wasn't as right, and I was still taking the antibiotics and everything, right? And then so I was doing mostly bentonite clay, a little bit of Epsom salt and baking soda, and then I also did the charcoal. So that worked okay, but I felt like the bentonite clay worked the most, along with all the other stuff I was taking. And then I also, what else was there? Well, when I was the first couple times I used the bentonite clay, I felt the venom like being pulled out. Like that was crazy because I started getting pains in my chest. What was it, on the Sunday? Like Saturday night, Sunday, that was the worst day. And I was searing pain in my leg, searing pain in my chest, and I just took stuff for it. But then that was when I went to the emergency room the next morning. But I searing pain. So when I took the bentonite clay on there, I know this is a long story, but I could feel it drawing poison down my leg, through my knee, like knee area, through where my bite was. Also, I could feel it in my chest. I could feel like a pulling. And that lasted like half a day. And then I just kept on doing it, but then the pains went away. And it was really interesting. I did have some trouble breathing too. But I just want to let you know, like if you ever get that kind of bite or any kind of bite, of course do what you need to do with the doctor stuff and get your medication and stuff like that, you know. But that bentonite clay was what really I felt saved my skin and got the toxins out and the venom a lot to it, because I looked at I don't know if you ever looked at those recluse bites. They're insane. They like eat away your skin like completely, like underneath, if you don't get that venom out. So I'm just saying, I just want to share this with you because I felt like it was really important. I mean, I could have had a whole hole in my leg. And I'll show you. I'll just stand up really quick, kind of show you. This is what's left right here. Oh, you can kind of see it. But that's what's left, and it could have been so much worse. So, and the funny thing is I guess when you get bit by the recluse, there's an anesthetic or something in there that makes it so that it numbs it, so you don't even feel it. Isn't it wild? And it doesn't, you don't even notice anything. At least that was my experience, and I read a couple other experiences online, and I was like, wow. So I don't know what I was doing. I don't know when I got the bite. It says kind of like you're out moving things that are, you know, wood sheds, old stuff. If they're disturbed, they'll bite you. They were supposed to be really small, like about the size of your quarter or your pinky. So anyhow, that was my experience. I hope you're doing well, and don't get bit. And if you do get bit or you get stung, you can always use that. All right? Okay. Much love. Aloha. Oh, I wanted to add something. So if you, like when I was purifying all those toxins, I was thinking, gosh, I'm being purified like at a blood level. I mean, caused to clean out my blood, because the venom, you know, it's poison in your blood system at such a base level, you know. So I was thinking about that too. It's like purification of the body, purification, then purification of my world, because like whatever happens to your body, you know, is reflected on the outside too. So it's like, okay, purify my world, purify my world. So at a more metaphysical outlook, I was thinking about that. Okay, when you get bit by something, take a look at what's around you, take a look at any situations that may be poisonous, that may be deadly to you, that may be harmful. So I'm still kind of reflecting on that. So anyhow, not taking it too much to heart, but it's always good to kind of look and, you know, to have a continuous awareness, as we always do, but maybe this, oh, okay, maybe I need to look at this a little bit more. Funny, I got stung by a centipede too last year. I've been stung by a centipede twice. The second time was worse though. It was in my foot. I accidentally stepped on it, bare feet. Oh, that was so painful. But the recluse was 1,000 times worse. Maybe not 1,000, but like 100 times worse. So I've gotten bit by 3 things that were poisonous so far on the island. Interesting, huh? Anyhow, on that note, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't get bit or stung by anything, but if you do, you can always use some bentonite clay at first to, you know, get through it, and of course get anything else you may need, medicines or antihistamines or whatever you need. But that helps. Okay, and charcoal too. That helps too. Okay, much love. Aloha.